All right, 8th grade, here's the plan for today. First, going to go over worksheet 7.4 AB evens. We did 7.4 AB odds yesterday in class. So today we'll do the evens, which are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. After we go over the 7.4 AB evens, we will do Chapter 7 Study Guide number 1. You'll watch this video and complete that with me in the video. And then your homework will be Chapter 7 Study Guide number 2, which is very similar to Study Guide number 1. And so I would encourage you to please pay attention as we go over the study guide so that you know what to do for homework. And the test on Friday will be very similar to the study guide worksheets. Okay, so first, 7.4 AB. An equation can have 3 results. The first one is it can have one solution. If you get x or some variable equal to a number, that has one solution. For example, x equals 8. This would mean 8 is the only value for the variable x that would make the equation true. A second result you could have is when a equals a, or some number equals that same number. In this case, there would be infinitely many solutions. Like, for example, say you solve an equation and you get 6 equals 6. This is an example of where that equation will have infinitely many solutions. No matter what value you put in for the variable, the left side will always equal the right side. So that's the second kind of result you can have. The third result you could have is you could have 0 solutions. For example, a equals b, or some number equals some different number. So let's say you solve an equation and you get 0 equals 9. This would be an example of that equation having 0 solutions. No matter what value you put in for the variable, the equation will never hold true. It has 0 solutions. Okay, so these are 3 possible results. So look at 7.4 AB. We'll start off with number 2. We have 1/2 n, 1/2 times n plus 7 equals n plus 14 divided by 2. Okay, there are a couple different ways we could go about solving this. The one I'm going to talk about is we have a denominator of 2 in each of these terms. So what we could do to eliminate that denominator is multiply both sides of the equation by that denominator, by 2. Okay, so let's put the left side in parentheses. You should be following along with me doing this. The left side in parentheses and multiply by 2. I'm going to write 2 as a fraction, but 2 over 1. And if I multiply the left side by 2, I've got to multiply the right side by 2 also. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 1. So now I've created parentheses. I got to go through now and eliminate those parentheses, which is the first step of solving equations, right? Using the distributive property. So here I have 2 times 1/2 n, so 2 over 1 times 1/2 n. Then I put plus 2 over 1, since it's a positive 2 that I am distributing, plus 2 over 1 times 7. And I will go ahead and write 7 as a fraction also. It's 7 over 1. So I've distributed 2 to both terms inside the parentheses. That's my left side. On the right side, I have this term times 2. Now, I can right away just cross simplify. Since I have 2 up top and 2 on bottom, that simplifies to 1 over 1. Okay, once I cross simplify, then I can just multiply n plus 14 times 1 is just n plus 14. On the bottom, you would have 1 times 1. That would be 1, so no need for the denominator anymore. So now I go through and I simplify the left side. I cross simplify. 2 over 2 simplifies to 1. So here I'm just left with n, right? Because 1 times 1 is 1n. On the bottom you have 1, so it's 1n over 1, which is just 1n, or n. 2 times 7 is 14, so I have positive 14. N plus 14 on the left, and n plus 14 on the right. If I move my n's, so let's say I subtract n from both sides, on the left and the right, they both cancel out because n minus n is 0. So what am I left with? I have 14 on the left and 14 on the right. So I have some number equals that same number. This means I will have infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. That would be my answer for number 2. There's infinitely many. Okay, so let's go to number 4. Number 4, you have 6n plus 7 minus 2n minus 14 equals 5n plus 1. All right, so step 1 is to eliminate the parentheses by using the distributive property. I don't have any parentheses, so I skip that step and I go to step 2. Step 2 is to combine like terms. I do have like terms that I need to combine. And those like terms are on the left side because I have 6n and minus 2n, or negative 2n. I put those in a box to show that they're like terms. And then I need to combine them. So 6n minus 2n would be 4n. Again, you should be following along and doing this along with me. Show the shapes. Remember, the sign goes inside the shape. After I use boxes, then I'll use circles. I have constants, 7 and negative 14, that are like terms. 7 minus 14 is negative 7, so I put 4n minus 7, or negative 7. That's my left side. The right side, you still have 5n plus 1. Okay, so let's get the n terms on the right so that they're positive. To do that, I subtract 4n from both sides, and I would get negative 7 equals 5n minus 4n is n plus 1. So my n terms are on the right. That means to get the numbers on the left. So subtract 1, subtract 1. That means n is equal to negative 7 minus negative 1. I have two negative numbers, so that's going to be negative. 7 plus 1 is 8. So negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. N is negative 8. So number 4 has one solution, right? Because I get a variable equal to a number. And so negative 8 is the only solution that will satisfy this equation. Okay, number 6, we have 1/2 times 8 minus x equals 8 minus x over 2. Okay, again, there are a couple different ways to think about this, but I could go ahead and distribute on the left side. I could distribute the 1/2 to both terms right there. So I have 1/2 times 8 over 1, or 8, plus 1/2 times negative x. I'm going to put negative x over 1, that's still negative x, equals the right side, 8 minus x over 2. So now I go through and I multiply on the right side. I have 1/2 times 8, which is just, I can cross simplify to 4 over 1. So this is 4. Then I have 1/2 times negative x. Okay, so I could put 1 times negative x is negative x. On the bottom, 2 times 1 is 2. So I have 4 minus x over 2 equals 8 minus x over 2. Okay, so now I see that I have 2 in the denominator, so I can go through and multiply both sides by 2 to eliminate the denominator. So I multiply this side by 2 over 1 and this side by 2 over 1. Okay, if I do that, I have 2 times 4, 2 times 4, plus 2 times negative x over 2 equals, these 2's cross simplify. So all I'm left with on the left side, or the right side, is 8 minus x. On this side, I have 2 times 4 is 8. These 2's cross simplify. So I have, this is plus negative x, or just minus x. I have 8 minus x on the left and 8 minus x on the right. So I have the same thing on both sides. That means I'm going to have infinitely many solutions, because no matter what value I put in for x, the left side is going to equal the right side. Infinitely many solutions for number 6. Okay, number 8. Number 8, we have 4 times negative 8x plus 12 equals negative 26 minus 32x. So I need to distribute on the left. So I have 4 times negative 8x plus 4, since this is a positive 4 that I am distributing, plus 4 times 12. So notice how I'm showing the rainbow. I'm multiplying 4 times both these terms inside the parentheses. That's my left side. My right side I keep the same for now. Negative 26, so this is minus. Negative 26 minus 32x. Multiply these terms. 4 times negative 8x is negative 32x plus 48, because 4 times 12 is 48, equals negative 26 minus 32x. All right, so it doesn't matter what side you choose to get your x terms on, but let's get them on the left. So if I add 32x to both sides, as you can see, those are going to cancel because negative 32x plus 32x is 0. And so both those x terms are gone. So all you're left with is 48 is equal to negative 26. So you get some number equal to some different number. What does this mean? There are 0 solutions. 0 solutions. Okay, no matter what value for x you put in there, the left side is not going to equal the right side. Therefore, there are no solutions. 0 solutions for number 8. Finally, number 10. You got 3x minus 14 plus 2 times x minus 9 equals 2x minus 2. All right, so I see that I have parentheses right here, so I'll need to distribute this 2 to both these terms. So I keep 3x minus 14 the same. I just bring it down. I bring it down for now. I have to distribute first. So here I have positive 2 times x plus 2 times, that's negative 9, equals 2x minus 2 on the right still. I got to go through and multiply these, so I just continue to bring down the 3x minus 14. Then I have 2 times x, which is 2x. 2 times negative 9, which is negative 18, equals 2x minus 2 on the right still. Okay, so now I have distributed. I need to now combine like terms. On the left side, I have 3x and 2x are like terms. 3x plus 2x is 5x. And then I have negative 14 and negative 18. That would combine to give me negative 32, because negative 14 minus 18 is negative 32. And on the right side, you still have 2x minus 2. All right, so let's get the x terms on the left so they're positive. To do that, I subtract 2x from both sides to get 3x minus 32 equals negative 2. So if my x terms are on the left, that means get the numbers on the right. So I add 32 to both sides, add 32. So on the left side, you got 3x, and the right side, you have negative 2 plus 32, or you could read it as 32 minus 2, which is positive 30. So if 3x equals 30, I divide by the coefficient of x, and x equals 10. That means there is one solution. There's one solution to the equation, and that solution is 10. Okay? So, just a refresher, for 7.4, you have 3 possible results. If x equals a number, that's one solution. If a number equals the same number, that's infinitely many solutions. And if a number equals some different number, that is 0 solutions. All right, that's 7.4ab. That worksheet should now be complete. We're going to skip number 11. Skip number 11, so just cross number 11 out. All right, and you should turn that worksheet in before you leave class. 7.4ab should be turned in before you leave class. All your work shown, all final answers circled. Okay, look now with me at Chapter 7, Study Guide number 1. There are 10 questions, 10 problems on Study Guide number 1. Make sure your first and last name is at the top. All right, we'll complete this in class together by you watching the video, and then you'll complete Study Guide number 2 for homework. Okay, so kind of use Study Guide number 1 as a guide as you complete the homework for tonight. And then tomorrow in class, we'll discuss Study Guide number 2 in preparation for the test on Friday. All right, but tomorrow in class, Thursday, you'll need to turn in Study Guide number 1 and number 2. All work should be shown. Of course, final answers circled. All right, number 1, you have a table, and you have a couple different shuttle services. You have the classic shuttle, and the cost is $10 to pick up. It's a $10 pickup charge plus 20 cents per mile. Easy Transfer, there's no pickup charge, but they do charge 45 cents per mile, and it says choose the equation you could solve to determine the number of miles in which the cost of both shuttles is the same. is the same. So we're going to be dealing with an equation there. So we're going to set the classic shuttle equal to the easy transfer shuttle. All right? So basically you just choose which equation. You don't even have to solve. You just choose which one. So here the classic shuttle, it says it's a $10 pickup charge. $10 pickup charge. So if you called the classic shuttle, you're paying $10 right away. So $10 just for them to pick you up, okay, plus 20 cents per mile. It's 20 cents per mile. Anytime you see the word per, you're going to multiply this value times the number of miles. So we have 0.20, 20 cents, times x, the number of miles. So I would write that as 0.20x. So that's the classic shuttle, 10 plus 0.20x. The easy transfer has no pickup charge. So $0 plus 45 cents per mile. So 45 cents times x. All right, so I'm looking for that equation. Let's see. It looks like letter C, right? 10 plus 20 cents per mile. This would be classic shuttle. Classic shuttle. All right, easy transfer has $0 pickup charge plus 45 cents per mile. So that would be this side. It's 45 cents times the number of miles. This would be easy transfer. All right, so in which is the cost of both shuttles the same? That equation would be letter C. Okay, I set the classic shuttle equal to the easy transfer, and x will tell me the number of miles in which the cost of both shuttles is the same. Number 2 says a painter charges a flat fee of $100 plus $22 an hour. So $100 flat fee. So I'm paying $100 for this painter plus $22 an hour, or $22 per hour. So it's 22 times the number of hours, which I'll just call x. So 100 plus 22x, or 22 times the number of hours. A second painter charges a flat fee of $70. Okay, so the first painter is a $100 flat fee plus 22 per hour, so 22 times the number of hours. The second painter charges a flat fee of $70, so you're paying that one time, plus $25 per hour. So that's how I set up my equation. And it says the question I'm asked to find is, after how many hours is the charge for the two painters the same? The same. So that tells me this is going to be an equation. After how many hours is the charge the same? So I just solved that equation. To do that, let's get my x terms on the right. So they're positive, so I subtract 22x from both sides to get 100 equals 70. This is plus 3x because 25x minus 22x is positive 3x. So if my x terms are on the right, that means get the numbers on the left. To do that, I subtract 70. Subtract 70 from both sides. Those 70s cancel out. So I'm left with 100 minus 70 is 30, equal to 3x. Divide by the coefficient. So x is equal to 10. X is equal to 10. So after how many hours is the charge for the two painters the same? That would be B, 10 hours. 10 hours. Number 3 says one side of an equilateral triangle is 9x minus 14. Another side of an equilateral triangle is 5x plus 38. Which is the length of one of the sides of the triangle? All right, now to solve this problem, I would first draw a picture of the equilateral triangle. It doesn't matter how good your triangle looks or not, as long as it's a triangle. So I have this. There's my equilateral triangle. Now, since this is an equilateral triangle, I should know that an equilateral triangle means all sides of the triangle are the same length. This side is the same as this side is the same as this side. They're all the same. And so if one side is 9x minus 14 and another side is 5x plus 38, If that's the length of these sides, and I know that equilateral triangles have the same side lengths, what I can do is set this side equal to this side. So let's do that. I have 9x minus 14 equals 5x plus 38. So I just set up the equation. Now I'm going to solve for x. I'm going to subtract 5x to get my x terms on the left. So I have 4x minus 14 equals 38. So get the numbers on the right. To do that, I add 14 to get 4x equals 52. I divide by the coefficient to get x by itself, so x is equal to 13. Now, is that my answer? Is that what I'm looking for? What did it ask me? Which is the length of one side? The length of one of the sides. If this is one of the lengths, 9x minus 14, then what I can do is I have to plug this 13 into the equation. I have to take 13 and plug it into that expression to figure out what the side length is. Now I could choose this expression or I could choose this expression because they're the same. They're going to give me the same result. So let me show you that both of them will be the same. I'll first take 13 and plug it into 9x minus 14. So if I do that, I'm going to use this area down here, 9x minus 14. I'm going to take 13 and plug it in for x. So I have 9. Remember, when plugging in variable values, you need to use parentheses because this is 9 times x. So 9 times 13 minus 14. Okay. 9 times 13, if I don't know what that is, I can come to the side right here and work it out. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11. So 13 times 9 is 117. 117 minus 14, which would give me 103. Okay? So what this means is that this side of the equilateral triangle is 103. Now if this side is 103, this side must also be 103, and this side must also be 103. So let's just double check that if we plug 13 into this expression, we'll still get 103. Let's double check that. So I have the expression 5x plus 38. If I plug 13 in, 5 times 13 plus 38. 5 times 13 would give me 65 plus 38, which does give me 103. Okay? So yeah, all the sides of the triangle, all the sides of the equilateral triangle are 103. But the question asked me, what is the length of one of the sides? One of the sides. What is the length of one of the sides? 103. Okay, so set up your equation, solve for x, take x and plug it into one of the expressions for the sides, and that will give you your side length of the equilateral triangle. Number 4, which of the following has no solution? Has no solution. Okay, so remember, to have no solutions, you need a number equal to some different number. A number equal to some different number, that means that equation has no solution. So what you have to do here is just basically go one by one. Start with A, then B, then C, then D, and solve those equations until you get one that has no solution. All right? So if you solve A is going to give you a solution. 7g plus 14 minus 3g equals 6. If you solve that, you're going to get let's see, 4g plus 14 equals 6. Subtract 14, you'll get 4g equals negative 8, and g will be negative 2. Okay, so A is going to give you a variable value that is equal to negative 2. So there's one solution for A. Now if you go to B, you have 4 times 3 plus x equals 8 plus 4x. If I distribute on the left side, I'll have 4 times 3 is 12, plus 4 times x is 4x, equals 8 plus 4x. Okay, if I move my x terms are going to cancel out on both sides. So I'm going to get 12 equal to 8. 12 equal to 8. All right, so I get some number equal to some different number. So that means letter B has no solution because I get some number equal to some different number. All right, number 5, you're simply solving the equation for x. You need to distribute here. You have negative 2 times r, negative 2 times r, minus 2, since it's a negative 2 that you're distributing, minus 2 times positive 2. Then you have plus 5r, so tag that on at the end, is equal to 6r plus 11. Okay, now you got to go through and multiply. Negative 2 times r is negative 2r. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. You still have plus 5r is equal to 6r plus 11. Now you combine like terms. You combine like terms on the left side. You have negative 2r plus 5r, which is going to give you 3r, positive 3r, minus 4, is equal to 6r plus 11. Okay, I'm going to get the r terms on the right, so they're positive. To do that, I subtract 3r. So I'm left with negative 4 equals 3r plus 11. From there, I subtract 11 to get the numbers on the left side. So I'll continue over here. I get negative 15 on the left side equal to 3r. I divide by the coefficient. To get r equals, I have a negative divided by a positive, so that's going to give me a negative quotient. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, so r is equal to negative 5, which is letter A. So letter A is what I circle. X is equal to negative 5. All right, now for the back side. Number 6 says Seth weighs 190 pounds and plans to lose 2 pounds a week. Adam weighs 175 pounds and plans to lose 1 pound a week. When will Seth and Adam weigh the same? When will they weigh the same? That's a key word right there that lets you know that you need to set up an equation. So Seth, let's put Seth on the left side of the equation. He weighs 190. He weighs 190 and plans to lose. He plans to lose. So that tells me I need a subtraction sign since he plans to lose. So 190 minus 2 pounds a week, or 2 pounds per week. So 2 pounds times the number of weeks, which I don't know. So that's my unknown. That's my variable. So 190 minus 2 times x. That's Seth. Equal to Adam. Adam weighs 175 pounds, and he plans to lose, so subtract. He plans to lose 1 pound per week. So 1 times x, the number of weeks. So when will Seth and Adam weigh the same? I've set up my equation. Now I solve for x, and x will give me the number of weeks that it will take for Seth and Adam to weigh the same. So let's get the x terms on the right so they're positive. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I get 190 equals 175 plus negative x plus 2x is just 1x, so plus x. Okay, so my x terms are on the right, so get the numbers on the left. I subtract 175 from both sides to get 15 equals x. So x is 15. So how long will it take for them to weigh the same? It will take 15 weeks. B, it will take 15 weeks. Number 7, you have 2 elevenths times a number plus 16 is equal to 4 more than 6 elevenths times the same number. What is the number? Okay, so you take this verbal sentence and you turn it into an equation. Okay, so I have 2 elevenths times a number. 2 elevenths times a number, which I'm going to call it x. 2 elevenths times x plus 16 is equal to, there's your equal sign, 4 more than 6 elevenths times the same number. So 6 elevenths times the same number. I want 4 more than this, so I add 4. So there's my equation. Now, as you can see, I have fractions. In my fractions, the denominators are 11. And so to eliminate those denominators, I can multiply both sides of the equation by 11, and that will get rid of my fractions. So if I do that, let's multiply the left side by 11 over 1, and the right side by 11 over 1. So now I've created parentheses. I need to go through and distribute. So 11 over 1 times 2 over 11x plus 11 over 1, since it's positive 11 that I am distributing, plus 11 over 1 times 16 over 1. That's my left side. My right side, I have 11 over 1 times 6 over 11x and plus 11 over 1 times 4. Now you go through and you cross simplify. 11 over 11 simplifies to 1 over 1. So all you're left with is 1 times 2, which is 2x. Don't forget your variable. 2x plus 11 times 16. 11 times 16, if I don't know what that is, I can go over to the side and work it out. So let's go 11 times 16. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. Add a 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So 6, 7, 1. So 11 times 16 is 176. So plus or positive 176 equals, these 11s also cross simplify, so I'm left with 1 times 6, which is 6x, plus 11 times 4, which is 44. So now my new equation is 2x plus 176 equals 6x plus 44. Let's get the x terms on the right, so they're positive. Subtract 2x to get 4x. And we got 176 equals 4x plus 44. I'm going to subtract 44 to get my numbers on the right side. So I get 132 is equal to 4x. Divide by the coefficient, so I have 132 divided by 4. I can set it up over here, 132 divided by 4. 4 goes into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract and get 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Remainder 0. And so I get 33. 33, which is letter C. Okay, number 8 says Pep Club sets up a hot dog stand for fundraising in which they plan to sell each hot dog for $1.50. Each hot dog for $1.50. That tells me that's 150 times the number of hot dogs, so 150x. Now they receive $22 in donations, so people give them $22. All right, this is the money brought in. I'll call it money in. Money brought in, they sell hot dogs for $1.50 each, plus they get $22 in donations. So this is money brought in. Now to buy supplies, hot dogs cost 70 cents each. So I could write that as 0.70 each, or times the number of hot dogs. And they have to buy $47 in paper plates. So plus 47, this is money out. Money in, 150x plus 22. Money out, or money spent, is represented by this. So if I set this equal to this will show me how many hot dogs they must sell to break even. Okay? So I got 150x plus 22 equals 0.7x plus 47. That's going to be letter B. Number 9, how many solutions does the equation have? You have 3 times x minus 1/3 equals 6 plus 3x. Let's distribute, because since we have parentheses on the left side, so you got 3 times x plus 3 times negative 1/3 equals 6 plus 3x. Go through and multiply. 3 times x is 3x. This 3 over 3 simplifies to 1 over 1, so I just have 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. Equals 6 plus 3x. If I move my x terms, subtract both sides by 3x, those x terms will cancel. So I'm left with negative 1 equals 6. So I have some number equal to some different number. That means there's going to be 0 solutions. 0 solutions to the equation. And number 10, which value of k will create an equation with infinitely many solutions? I want infinitely many solutions, which means my left side must be the same as my right side. So I have parentheses here. Let's distribute. I have 4 times 3x. 4 times 3x plus 4 times 12 equals 12x plus k. I go through and I simplify. 4 times 3x is 12x plus 4 times 12 is 48. is equal to 12x plus k. So on my left side, I have 12x plus 48. On the right side, I have 12x plus, what should k be? So that the left side is the same as the right side, k should be 48, right? Because if I have 12x plus 48 equals 12x plus 48, the left side is going to be the same as the right side, and therefore I will have infinitely many solutions. So my answer to number 10 is C. Okay, so now study guide number 1 for chapter 7 should be completed. Since you have followed along with this video, your homework tonight will be chapter 7 study guide number 2, and we will go over that tomorrow in class, but it should be completed so that we can discuss it at the beginning of class on Thursday. And just another reminder, the chapter 7 test is Friday.